Hello, friends, and welcome to Bottled and Bond, a discussion of the James Bond movies and lore alongside spirited companions. I am Mike Scott, and I have been watching James Bond movies for nearly 30 years, but have never really taken a deep dive into the history and lore of this film franchise. So, alongside my friend Charlie, we are going to delve into each of the 25 Eon produced movies. During this episode, we will be enjoying a beverage or two that would pair nicely with the movie. Today we will be discussing the 20th movie in the franchise, 2002's Die Another Day. So find your cigarette case, prepare your favorite cocktail, shaken not stirred of course, and leave your hat at the door while we ponder this question. Was I too hasty in deeming Diamonds Are Forever the worst Bond movie? This is episode 0020, Die Another Day. Charlie, welcome.
Thank you, Mike.
Did you snowmobile over here?
No, actually, it was the perfect weather for me to drive my invisible Aston Martin over here, right
That's
through
impressive.
the snow so that you can just see the tracks coming over here.
Awesome. We have three companion beverages today.
Oh my gosh.
We are starting with Teeling Whiskey Single Pot Still Virgin Portuguese Oak. The reason we're doing this one is in honor of the final outing by Irishman Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah,
I love Irish whiskey. It's probably my favorite style.
sure. And with 3 drinks, it's a good thing we're starting at 7 a.m. so we can really
Yeah,
be
exactly.
ready for our day.
Exactly. We are also having 2 beers from a brewery called Einstock. I have no idea if that's how it's pronounced.
That
These
sounds
are
good enough.
these are both Icelandic beers.
Okay.
So we're having an Einstock toasted porter and an Einstock white ale.
You know, we should have had Bjork on. Why didn't we think of that?
We should have. Yeah.
She
could
could
have
have
worn
told
her.
us exactly how to say it.
She could have worn her swan dress.
Can you imagine being known for one thing that you wore one time? Now, granted, it was a dress that was shaped like a swan.
Yeah.
But still, there's no one who's ever seen that who doesn't think of it immediately whenever they think of Bjork.
Never been a big fan of her music.
See, I like Bjork.
Her one song that I like is a cover of an old jazz standard.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Oh So
it's a good
Quiet.
song. Oh,
Yeah.
So Quiet. It's a good song, but she has many other good songs, in my humble opinion. I like
see.
her. I even like when she was in the Sugar Cubes, some of the Sugar Cubes songs.
Let's be real. You don't have such thing as a humble opinion.
You're probably right. I mean, my opinion, it does really, really make me wonder how anyone couldn't agree with me, Mike.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Errors and omissions. So we were talking about how there were so many writers on The World Is Not Enough.
Mhm.
Michael Apted's wife at the time, Dana Stevens, did an uncredited rewrite to strengthen Electra's character. We talked about whether the UK uses the metric system or not. The UK mandated metrification in 2010, but imperial measurements are still common.
Yeah, I think they're a mixed bag from my friends who I talked to. Yep.
The song Istanbul, Not Constantinople was originally performed by the Four Lads in 1953.
Okay.
Not to be confused with the lovable lads from Liverpool. They were called the Four Lads.
Okay. You know, both versions of that song are good.
Yeah.
It's a good song, right? So if those guys wrote it or whoever wrote it, it's a very good song.
It is. Few news items. Judi Dench is in the news. She revealed that she is basically blind. She cannot see
wow.
anymore. Yeah. Macular degeneration. She is
boy.
91. She's had a
Well,
good life, but
yeah.
that's still sad to hear.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Because I think she still tries to actively, perform and stuff.
Does she keep going, or is this her last movie?
Oh, she keeps going.
She keeps going. Good.
Yeah.
She does a great job. She's a very good M.
In some personal news, we won a major award, a 2025 Instant Hit Show Award from Spotify, meaning our debut season was more popular than 85% of other new shows. I mean, that's very
I don't
impressive.
know exactly what to make of that. Did they send us a leg lamp? Please tell me they sent us a leg lamp.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
It's probably in the mail. You should see it from the street. It looks great.
I know.
One other news item. they announced who's playing the villain in the new James Bond video game.
I saw
And
that.
it's a guy by the name of Leonard Kravitz.
I've heard of that guy.
Are they going to go his way?
So this
We'll
is
see.
wow. In the video game, huh? So what is the new video game going to be called? Is it based
It's
on
not
a
over
particular
till it's
movie or nice.
No, it's called First Light. It's actually him before he gets. I think it's
Oh, it's
him
like a
building
prequel,
up to become
prequel. Wow.
Yeah, even more so than what our next movie is going to be, Casino Royale.
Right, because it's
Kind of a prequel.
the first book, but it's I mean, movie wise, it's kind of a prequel, but yes, book wise, it was the first book. In other news, you're wearing a Quarrels fishing T-shirt today.
I am. Quarrel's fishing in Kingston, Jamaica. Rest in peace, Quarrel.
Yeah,
He's killed by a dragon.
I know that poor guy. Boy, that dragon was something.
Yeah.
Those were the days. When was that? Like a few months ago when we're recording those episodes. I can't believe how far we've come.
We started in March. It's insane. We've done 20 episodes.
Yeah. Wow.
Impressive.
Wow. So we got 5 left.
Yeah. So we'll do the plot summary for Die Another Day, which is very heavy on homages to prior James Bond movies. Realizing tomorrow never dies by surviving in a North Korean prison for 14 months, James Bond learns you only live twice after being exchanged for Zhao, a terrorist whose diamonds are forever in his face. Disavowed by MI6 and having his license to kill revoked, Bond shows a doctor no mercy as he escapes a medical ship in Hong Kong.
Boy.
Determined to capture Zhao, Bond scares the living daylights out of Chinese agent Mr. Chang, who tells him Zhao is hiding out in Cuba. After meeting NSA agent Jinx, Bond sabotages a DNA alteration facility where Zhao is getting his treatments. Zhao gets away, and Jinx escapes to live and let die Bond. 007 returns to England and meets and fences with diamond magnate Gustav Graves, then eventually reconciles with M, who puts him back on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh, boy.
Bond travels to Iceland to see what Graves, for whom clearly the world is not enough, is up to. Revealing that the powers of the GoldenEye are child's play, Graves shows off Icarus, a diamond-powered laser that clearly succeeded the Moonraker in the most over-the-top villain apparatus in space. Bond discovers Graves is actually Colonel Moon, whom Bond thought he had a view to a kill of back in North Korea. Bond escapes capture and returns by CGI surfing, the most appalling effect since the slide whistle from The Man with the Golden Gun. 007 reunites with the spy who loved meeting him, Jinx, and they continue to work to sabotage Graves' facility. Jinx is captured and strapped to Auric Goldfinger's laser table, recently recovered and sent to Graves from Russia with love.
Oh, man.
Meanwhile, Bond escapes in his Aston Martin Vanquish, a special model visible for your eyes, only if you have superpowers. 007 eventually dispatches with Zhao as Graves' ice palace crumbles like a thunderball. Bond and Jinx escape to take care of Graves once and for all, sneaking onto his plane and eventually killing both Graves and double agent Miranda Frost. Bond and Jinx wind up in a small hut in Korea with enough conflict diamonds to live peacefully the rest of their lives. How about you try to put Octopussy in that plot summary and tell me how it goes? Die Another Day.
Yeah, I mean, some of those were a little bit of a stretch, but that one, Octopussy, that would be a stretch.
The worst was The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, even Live and Let Die was a little bit of awkward, but still, I give it an A for effort.
Thank you.
Right? That took a lot of work, I
Thank
can
you.
imagine. So that's why I wasn't allowed to read my notes until
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cast.
Very good.
Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, 4th of 4 appearances. And with that, we're going to open our companion beverage.
That didn't take long. It's
This
only
is-
10 after 7 now.
Yeah, this is the Teeling single pot still Irish whiskey, aged in virgin Portuguese oak.
Too bad they haven't invented, smell-o-vision yet, like they were going to, so that we could at least give people,
I think it exists.
doesn't.
I think so.
You'd have to have apparati on both ends, though, that understand.
Apparati.
I know. And the one on the receiving end would have to have like it's one thing to have an ink cartridge that can combine ink to make any kind of color.
Yeah.
But to have a smell cartridge that has everything in it to produce any kind of smell possible is probably why they've never figured this out.
They just never got past Spanktervision, I guess. Cheers.
Cheers. I'll give it a thumbs up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
It does have a label on here that says Wonders of Wood. Do you respect the wood?
Yes, of course, as everyone should.
No, respect the wood. Hey, we
Yeah,
didn't.
that's
That's
pretty
not
good.
Seinfeld. That's Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes.
We're branching out.
Is that very pricey or is it reasonable?
So this was originally $100, but there's a liquor store nearby that is going out of business, and they slashed it 50%, and that is very much worth the $50
Wow.
price point I paid for it.
Yeah, you should go back and get the rest of the
Maybe I
inventory.
should. They took the sticker down after that one. They had a sticker up there that said $49.97,
Really?
and I got up there, and they were ringing me up at 100. It's like, no, it says it right there.
And they're like, that's not supposed to be
and
there.
then they went and took it down
That's
after. But they gave me
hilarious.
the price, so
You should have said, I'll take the rest of them too.
Yeah.
Before you take that down.
that's pretty good though.
That is good.
I've been waiting to do an Irish whiskey on here because
Yeah.
Redbreast is my favorite drink. Period. I love Redbreast, and I wanted to try something different. So this is very tasty.
Redbreast actually would have been extremely appropriate for this
Yeah.
movie
Why is that?
because he's an ornithologist.
Oh, I have some things to say about that too.
I can't wait.
We have Holly Berry as Jinx Johnson.
So, just a little note.
Mhm.
So other people in my life know that I do this podcast, and so they'll ask which movie I'm watching, or when I watch the movie with my wife, she'll say, "Which one are we watching?"
Yeah.
And inevitably, every time I say the name of the movie, Die Another Day, is that the Halle Berry one? Everybody
Yeah.
knows this as the one with Halle Berry. And everyone in the world has seen that scene of her walking out of that water,
Yeah.
right? I mean, even just casual Bond fans remember the Halle Berry one.
One of the many homages, her walking out of the water, was an homage to Dr. No.
Yeah. It worked.
Yeah. We have Toby Stevens as Gustav Graves. We have Rosamund Pike as Miranda Frost. Rick Yoon as Zhao. Rick Yoon was born in Washington, D.C. to immigrant parents. He's
Okay.
the diamond face guy.
Mhm.
Judy Dench is M, fourth of 7 appearances.
Oh, okay. So she's in all the rest of them.
No,
No, she's not in the
we have
last one.
5 left.
Okay.
John Cleese as Q, second of 2 appearances. Samantha Bond as Miss Moneypenny, fourth of 4 appearances.
Oh, I miss her. She was good. She's good, Moneypenny.
Michael Madsen as Damien Falco. Have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
I have seen Reservoir Dogs. Yes. Thank you.
Best known from those. He passed away earlier this year, sadly.
He's a real jerk in this movie, isn't he?
He is.
Ooh.
Will Yoon Lee as Colonel Moon. He was born in Virginia to immigrant parents. So both the main Korean antagonists
Well, it was
are
clear
American.
his English was perfect, right? I mean, it was.
And we have somebody named Madonna as Verity.
Yeah.
Crew, directed by Lee Tamahori. Screenplay by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade. Music by David Arnold. I believe this is his 4th.
was
He's
gonna
done
say he's
all of
done
the
some
music
more.
so far.
Okay.
Cinematography by David Tattersall. Production design by Peter Lamont. Theme song, Die Another Day by Madonna.
Just so you know, I got a bone to pick with the directing, and I suspect you do.
Oh,
too.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and talk about Die Another Day a little bit. This has grown on me. We should say, for the first time in the history of our illustrious podcast, we watched this movie together.
It
This
was
is
quite an experience.
Yeah, this is the first time we had watched one of them together.
Now, we had to go to the bunker because we're normally not allowed to be in the same room at the same time.
We went to our smoking rooms,
yes.
our cigar rooms.
Yes. Because if something happened to both of us at the same time, who would take this over?
Yeah, be a lot of devastated people.
There would.
But I thought the song works well with the movie as its own song. Like if it was just on the radio, which is this thing that used to be around where you could listen to music but doesn't exist anymore. Not great. But in the movie, I think I kind of liked it. Not that it's top tier, but
Yeah.
release details. UK premiere was November 18th, 2002 at the Royal Albert Hall. How many holes does it take to fill that hall?
I have wondered that so many times.
Premiered wide in the UK November 20th, 2002. Premiered in the US November 22nd, 2002. Budget adjusted for inflation, $187.3 million. Worldwide box office adjusted for inflation, $669.4 million. Good for 14th out of 25. So this is the most successful Pierce Brosnan. How insane is that?
Actually, so I can believe that because I remember the amount of advertising and hype there was
Yeah.
for it because I was an actual human being at the time this came out.
But you're not now. You had DNA regeneration
I
therapy and
did.
you're no longer
No, I
human.
wasn't a young person like you. I was old enough to know. But
I was old enough to drink when this came out.
were you really?
I was 21.
Okay. Um, but there was a lot of publicity for it. So I'm actually sort of surprised it's not higher than 14th. But the Halle Berry aspect, they really played that up in the promotions for this
Yeah.
movie.
So you saw this one in the theater.
I did.
Have you seen it since? Until
I don't think I had seen
That's
it
crazy.
since. I might have. I oddly there are more memorable scenes for me, things that I remember from the movie, such as Halle Berry walking up out
Yeah.
of the water, than some of the other Pierce Brosnan ones. But um, yes, I saw it in the theater and probably have not seen it since.
Okay. Well, let's go to the scene by scene breakdown. For me, I had not seen this one in the theater. I definitely watched it, but I think I maybe before recently had only seen it twice.
Okay.
So we're on the Puchong coast in North Korea. This was actually filmed off the north shore of Maui.
No kidding.
And a guy by the name of Laird Hamilton was the surfing coordinator and Pierce Brosnan's double. That name is very familiar to me. I don't know anything specific about him. I mean, Laird Hamilton, when I saw that name, it's like, oh yeah, the surfer guy.
Yeah, clearly, I guess, A, you can't film in North Korea. B, I really wondered whether that many waves there. And C, it seems like a really dumb way to infiltrate
Yeah.
somebody. It makes the crocodile actually look like a smart way to go through the water
Yeah.
and sneaks into somewhere.
So we have Bond there hanging 10, or maybe he's just hanging 007 on the waves. Bond lands on the coast with a
And then
couple of
and two other guys.
two other guys. Bond lands on the coast with a couple other guys. The coast is actually Holywell Beach in England.
Oh, okay.
So we have waves in Maui and a beach in England. So with those two sidekicks, Bond does some hacking to cause a helicopter to land nearby. Bond then hijacks the helicopter by pretending to be a guy by the name of, or the guy that was there was Mr. Van Bierk. So Bond's going to be pretending to be Mr. Van Bierk. He opened in the helicopter.
Good thing he knew what he was wearing.
Yeah.
So he could wear the same outfit.
Opens a suitcase that's full of diamonds and places some C4 under the insert. My wife and I were talking about this. It's a good thing it wasn't C3 or C5 because C4 is really the only one. Because it had the big label on it
Yeah.
that said C4. We cut to some trucks arriving at Colonel Tan Soon Moon's headquarters in the DMZ of North Korea, or right north of the DMZ.
Well,
So-
I was gonna say, so it seems like you're not really supposed to go in the DMZ
Right.
generally, right?
The colonel's doing some kickboxing with a very reluctant volunteer who's his anger therapist, and he has that anger therapist inside a punching bag, and he's beating the crap out of him.
Nice
Zach-
guy.
Yeah. So we also have his henchman Zhao. He watches Bond arrive, scans his image on a cell phone.
What a cell
I
phone,
know.
right?
Is
And
it
then
a Nokia?
it looked like a Nokia, and just the way they show what the cell phone supposedly looked like with all the images on it, all the text and everything else that he's sending it to somebody, but we don't know who.
Bond arrives pretending to be the Mr. Van Bierk, who is trading conflict diamonds for weapons. He's impressed with the way Moon speaks, and Moon is talking about saying he knows. They're basically saying that the UN is trying to combat conflict diamonds. Conflict diamonds are basically diamonds are mined in areas where there's a lot of war and
Right.
genocide stuff going on, mostly in Africa. Have
Right,
you ever
and where
seen the movie?
theoretically the people making the money from the diamonds are probably the terrorists,
Yes.
or whoever else, right?
Have you seen the movie Blood Diamond?
No.
I have not either. Maybe we should watch that sometime.
All right, put it on the list.
Yeah. Moon makes a little comment. I know all about the UN, studied at Oxford and Harvard, learned all about Western hypocrisy.
As they turn the camera toward his collection of sports cars.
Yeah. We have some hovercrafts incoming, not the ones from Back to the Future 2, unfortunately. These are the big, vehicles, and they float Apparently, they can float over the DMZ landmines. So Moon is keeping his weapons inside the DMZ.
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Okay,
Were those real hovercraft?
I believe so. Yes, yeah, they were.
I mean, they looked hovercrafty.
They were real,
right? The way
Yeah.
they were going. It was pretty wild. I also, the thing I wrote down is, how big is the DMZ? It apparently is 2.5 miles across. So I guess there's plenty of room, although you'd think it would be so heavily monitored that you couldn't just go in and out of there without the South Koreans knowing that you're taking things in and out of the DMZ.
Zhao and a henchman check out the diamonds, and we get a quip here where Bond says, "Don't blow it all at once."
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Good one.
Zhao gets a message that Mr. Van Bierk is actually Bond, James Bond. Moon shows Bond his new tank buster gun, which destroys the helicopter he came in, and
Uses depleted uranium shells.
yes, it does. Blows Bond's cover. So General Moon calls, General Moon calls Zhao. So this was Colonel Moon that's here in the DMZ. General Moon, his father, calls Zhao, asks to talk to Colonel Moon, tells his son he sees the smoke and will be there in 5 minutes. Bond is then, instead of immediately just killed, he's stood up against a firing squad that is not immediately shooting him. So
they're just kind of staring into space.
So he grabs his watch, twists it, and it blows up the diamonds.
I guess the thing is, he created the diversion, but they still could have shot him faster.
Yes.
But he does create the diversion. He takes that Omega Seamaster and he spins the outer bezel, which is probably the part on where you time your dive, right? It's a Seamaster. So that's probably the part you spin so that when the hands hit a certain place, you know maybe that you're supposed to go back up.
I just tell Siri to time whatever I need to time.
I know, right? It's hard underwater, though, Mike.
Okay. Bond escapes in the chaos. We see a Porsche, a GT40, and a Ferrari 360 all getting destroyed in this scene. They were empty car shells, so it was not the actual cars,
It
fortunately.
still made me cry.
One of them
That was
looked...
the only part of the movie I cried.
I made a comment when we watched it yesterday. One of them looked like Richard Petty's paint scheme from NASCAR.
Yes.
Moon escapes on hovercraft. Bond pursues him. Another missed opportunity to use the slide whistle here when one of the hovercrafts flips over a couple times.
It does. That was a little much. But you know what? In this movie, I'd take a slide whistle instead of many of the things they actually do in this movie.
Bond dodges some gunfire and flamethrowers while in pursuit. He shoots at these mines, which are actually called bounding mines. So this is something that the Countess Tracy asked about last night. The bounding mine, basically, it actually does shoot up in the air and then explode to cause more damage.
To a human or a vehicle?
Yes, to a human.
I think all land
Or more
mines
to
cause...
I should say to more humans.
Oh,
so when it goes
I'm
up in the
with you.
shrapnel,
It doesn't take just the one guy.
Yes.
It's kind of like a... Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bond eventually gets onto Moon's craft, dodges some more flames, and then speeds up the hovercraft.
Well, he doesn't just dodge flames. He does dodge flames, but when he gets on there, he's like 8 feet away from Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're 8 feet from each other, and he's sort of ducked down behind like this part of the thing, like a chest, or maybe you open that up and the motor's in there. And first of all, Moon can't hit him from basically he could probably like throw a rock.
Maybe twice the distance between me and you. Right?
Maybe. And then Bond finds like a bulletproof vest and he holds it up in front of him, and Moon foolishly keeps aiming at the vest and not into like Bond's torso, where he might actually kill him.
Or crotch.
Either way, right? He's hitting Bond's crotch. Foreshadowing. Seems like it could be effective.
Not foreshadowing for this movie, though.
But it's still in the future.
Bond speeds up that hovercraft, and then he jumps off right before it goes off a cliff. I hadn't seen this movie in a long time, so I didn't remember any of the quips. I predicted this quip before he said it, because he's hanging from a bell by a rope, and the bell's ringing, and he says, "Saved by the bell."
He has to.
Yeah.
By the way, during watching of the movie, I said I could shoot better than Moon, trying to hit Bond, and Becky agreed that I could do better than that. And by the way, so suddenly General Zhao is right there behind
General Moon, yes.
General Moon, sorry.
Yes.
General Moon's right there to arrest him. How did he get out there with vehicles and not get blown up by these landmines?
Who
How do you
knows?
follow him into the DMZ?
Who knows?
He doesn't have hovercraft.
But like you said, General Moon arrives,
Okay.
holds Bond at gunpoint, sees that his son is dead. So Bond is now captured. And now we get torture time. And Bond is shoved into icy water, and it transitions into the opening credits.
I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
What was Bond's actual plan supposed to be? So he goes in there with the diamonds in the C4. So what do you think was supposed to happen?
I think he was just wanting to kill Moon and stop him from selling these weapons.
Yeah. But the diamonds blowing up didn't even actually kill anyone.
They were supposed to, apparently.
Yeah, but
because he
that
got
explosion
captured.
didn't look big enough when he blew it up, and one guy just gets diamonds in his face. But
I'm glad we've brought back an episode of Charlie Ruins the movie.
I thought his plan was weak.
Yeah.
All right.
Opening credits, we get Die Another Day by Madonna. And I had originally noted possibly the worst Bond song yet, but as I've said, it really has grown on me. I think these opening credits are actually pretty interesting.
Well,
They're not like the old opening credits, of course.
No.
But watching him get tortured throughout the whole credits with some, random CGI women dancing, looking like flames, and the fire ice stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting how they wove part of the actual movie into the opening credits, right? Like, that is the first time they've done that. And I will say this about the song. I don't think it's a great song.
Yeah.
But it works over the top of these opening credits.
Yes, I agree.
But I don't think if you just listen to the song, it's anything like Live and Let Die or some of the other good ones, right? I mean, some of those other ones you can listen to them and go, that's a good song. This one, if you just hear it out of context, it's really not that great.
Right. After the credits, we see that it is now 14 months later, and Bond is still in prison. Pierce Brosnan actually spent 3 hours in makeup for this scene, where he's got his beard and everything.
Yeah.
And honestly, dude's 49 years old. He looked pretty good there.
He did. His shirt, on the other hand, did not look good. They have not let him change shirts in 14 months.
General Moon chats with Bond about, apparently there's a Western collaborator that Bond realizes was the person that probably got him caught.
Mm-hmm.
Bond is taken to a foggy bridge, presumably to get executed.
Thank goodness the fog is there to make this storyline work.
Right. Moon continues to interrogate Bond about the Westerner. Bond starts walking the bridge, the firing squad lines up, and then Bond turns around and sees that all the soldiers are leaving.
Oh, he's not actually going to be killed in the first 20 minutes of the movie.
He's just going to die.
Imagine
He's going to die another day.
Another day.
As Bond continues along the bridge, Zhao emerges from the other side, bedazzled with those diamonds in his face.
Yes. I don't exactly know how they got stuck there permanently, but again, I guess we're supposed to not think about that.
Right. As Bond crosses the bridge, we see Damien Falco from the NSA watching from the South Korean side. He says, look at him, you'd think he was some kind of hero.
Yeah.
At least he didn't...
We don't really know why.
Yeah. At least he didn't slice off Bond's ear as soon as he got across, though.
Right.
Bond is given a shot and then knocked out. We're now at the medical facility in Hong Kong, where Bond is getting a full body scan. We can hear the technicians talking in the background, and they get to a line where they say, liver not too good. It's definitely him then.
That was a good line.
Bond wakes up to see M standing over him. M says she did not want to do the hostage exchange, but others were convinced that Bond cracked under torture and was just telling secrets. It's revealed that Zhao killed 3 Chinese agents in a terrorist attack. Bond knows the mission was compromised, mentions the Western collaborator. M says she's going to send Bond to the Falklands and rescinds his 00 status.
Is this after Britain had to retake the Falklands when they tried to push
Way
Britain
after.
out?
That was like in the 80s, yeah.
Okay.
This is after Hong Kong was moved to China.
I knew it was after
Yeah.
Hong Kong because the guy makes a little comment about that.
Yes.
And my wife's been to Hong Kong.
Nice. We see Bond in his bed, lowering his heartbeat to alert the nurses that he might be dying.
Is this a real thing? I mean, come on,
I
right?
The hospital staff comes in, uses the defibrillator to shock Bond. Bond then takes both of them out with those paddles and escapes the facility. We have two consecutive quips here. The first one, he says, "I'm checking out." I added that just for you because you wanted that one in there.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Thanks for the kiss of life." And you can tell that the nurse that he didn't touch wants him badly.
Oh, she's jealous. Yeah.
There is something I heard in the commentary. There's actually a quick blip of the very first sounds from Dr. No during this scene. It's like that weird transmission noise thing that's made. I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting. What I noticed when he's breaking out is the very weird slow motion filming as he's trying to break out. Because you don't see the actual fight he's having with the doctors and nurses.
Mm-hmm.
You see this weird slow motion-y thing. And I felt like that was not a good omen of things to come.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Bond arrives at the yacht club, Hong Kong Yacht Club. The interior was completely constructed at Pinewood Studios. Bond goes to the desk, asks for his usual suite, and is denied by the concierge.
He didn't think it was necessary to button that shirt he had on as he walked through the lobby so that we could see his big hairy chest.
Yep. Mr. Chang walks over, greets Bond, immediately gives him the presidential suite.
So even from behind, with that shaggy long hair, that guy can recognize who he is.
Bond does request some food and also a 61 Bollinger. We are once again still waiting for our Bollinger sponsorship. I almost bought some recently, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
You'd think after our award,
I know, that's what they should send us.
Popularity, we should get some.
I don't want a leg lamp. I want a bottle of 61 Bollinger.
True.
Or even 17 Bollinger.
Because neither of our wives is going to let us keep that leg lamp.
Yeah. After cleaning up in his hotel room, a masseuse arrives, and she's actually packing heat.
Not just any masseuse, but a masseuse named...
You wrote the name down, nice.
Well, let's see if I can read my writing. Peaceful Fountains of... Damn it.
That's a weird name, Peaceful Fountains of Dammit. So Peaceful Fountains of Dammit arrives.
Peaceful Fountains of Desire.
Of Desire.
That's what it is,
okay.
Yes. I mean, that's a pretty awesome name.
It is. Bond sees that she's got a gun under her dress, takes her gun.
He acts like he's seducing her and then grabs her crotch.
And grabs a ashtray, throws it at a mirror, and we see that Chang is spying on Bond behind the mirror. Who throws an ashtray, honestly?
Who has an ashtray in their hotel room?
Yeah.
And he's learned his lesson on these one-way mirrors, right?
Right. This is another homage.
Throwback,
This is the homage to From Russia with Love, where he was being spied on while he was slapping and tickling.
The movie of him.
Yeah. Bond tells Chang that he just wants into North Korea so he can find Zhao. Like you said earlier, this is the part where Chang was talking about how, like, well, we're in control of Hong Kong now, and he doesn't want to. Bond doesn't care about that.
So, what was Chang trying to do to him? What was going to happen with Peaceful Fountains of Desire?
I think Chang was just doing spy stuff, just seeing what Bond was up to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were filming and what was supposed to happen.
Oh, maybe they're just
like, was she
maybe they're just perverts.
Maybe they are perverts. Maybe two things can be true at the same time.
Bond checks out, and Chang gives him a box that has all the necessary documentation he needs to find Zhao. He tells Bond to say goodbye for him to Zhao, and Zhao is in Cuba. So there we go to Havana.
I'm glad they get to go to Cuba.
Yeah.
Because this part's pretty good.
It's a shame that it looks like the Day After Tomorrow movie outside, because otherwise we'd be smoking some cigars in honor of Havana.
We would be. They wouldn't be delectados, I guess, because those don't burn out or whatever. But he goes into the cigar rolling facility, right? Am I jumping ahead too far?
Well, I mean, Bond's walking the streets. Yeah, he arrives at a cigar facility called Raoul.
So I read, so he walks through there and these people are all in there rolling cigars and someone's like reading them the newspaper or a story or
Mm-hmm.
something. Apparently that's a real thing, right? They would have a person in the cigar factory who like entertains the workers by
Oh,
reading things to them while they're rolling the cigars.
interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Bond tells the guy there that he's from Universal Exports and he wants some delectados. Though this is just a code name, it is also the name of a real life series of cigars created by the Diaz Cabrera factory in the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
We do need to go to Cuba so we can tour a cigar factory
Obviously.
and listen to the music and drive all the old cars.
Oh, man.
So Raul, who runs this cigar factory, is a sleeper agent, and Bond goes to him to seek more information about Zhao. We go to Raul's office. It is revealed that Zhao is at a clinic on an island off Cuba.
By the way, I loved that office.
Oh.
That Cuban guy's office was so good.
Yes.
Apparently, the point of it was that he had all these things that you're not allowed to have in Cuba anymore. All these books and collectibles. He had these binoculars and the gun that Bond borrows. But that office was pretty awesome.
It was. We see Bond, for whatever reason, picking up a field guide for birds of the West Indies. If anybody can remember back to our very first episode, this is a real book, and it was written by a real guy by the name of James Bond, who is the inspiration for the name of the character. If you look at the book when he holds it up, the author name is scrawled out. But that is the book.
That's awesome.
Bond borrows a gun and binoculars and asks for a fast car. Tracy Chapman wasn't around to oblige, but he still was able to get one.
Boy.
That's for my wife.
The
Countess Tracy, who loves the song Fast Car.
By the way, all the cars in these Cuban scenes, like it's almost worth watching the movie just to see those super sweet 50s cars that are still running in Cuba. They're outstanding.
For those youths that listen to this that don't know why this is the case, basically when Fidel Castro took over the country in 1959, nothing got imported anymore, so all of these cars have just been kept up. All these old cars from before then, because before that, Cuba was a huge tourist place. That's
right.
Big celebrities and stuff went there.
It's tropical and it has great beaches and it's wonderful, and they make awesome cigars.
I believe The Godfather 2 has quite a bit of it. The movie that takes place in Cuba because everybody went down there.
Now I'm going to guess that they're allowed to film this there because
it was not filmed. It was all filmed in Spain.
Oh, Spain.
Yeah, Cadiz, Spain, yeah.
So they got all of those old cars
Yep.
somehow into Spain.
Yep.
That is wild.
Because I read that apparently one of the days it was freezing when they were supposed to look like it was all tropical.
Fascinating. Yeah. Wow. That's very, very interesting. Well, I want to go to that place in Spain. It looked beautiful, didn't it?
It did. So Bond is driving a sweet 57 Ford Fairlane 500 Sunliner.
Skyliner. Sunliner? Skyliner.
I read Sunliner. Skyliner. Maybe it's Skyliner.
Well, either way, do you know the trick of that car?
No.
It is a hardtop convertible.
Okay.
And unlike now where a hardtop convertible folds into 20 pieces like an accordion and goes in some little place, that top is in the trunk, and the trunk flips up the wrong way, and there's one little bend in it, but almost the whole top of the car goes in as is to the trunk. It's a wild thing to watch. If you watch a video of it, I've seen one in person at a car show, right? But it's pretty wild the way they did that hardtop convertible, and it looks like it probably takes up the entire trunk to put that thing in there. But it's almost like they just take the hardtop off and put it in the trunk through all these gesticulating, different hydraulic things. It's pretty wild.
One of the few cars with a brown paint scheme that I really liked. I thought the brown looked really nice on that.
Yeah. Well, part of it is, they had a lot of two-tone cars back then. You don't really see two-tone cars anymore. No. And in some ways, those cars look good as two-tone, with a different color on top and bottom. So it's kind of like part brown, part beigey.
Yes.
Maybe.
He arrives at a bar, orders a mojito.
And we hear a Cuban version of the Bond theme while he's driving around in there.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, it's like a little Latin Cuban type of rhythm of the Bond
Oh,
theme.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, I thought you were saying he was hearing it. Yes,
No,
I know
no.
what you're talking about.
They
Yes,
play it on
that
the
was
soundtrack.
very cool.
It's
Yes.
very cool.
Bond is puffing on a cigar.
Do we know why he goes to this bar? Like he's just going there, right? Randomly?
I guess. I don't know. He's
part of
puffing a cigar
spying.
for the first time since the early Roger Moore days.
Yeah. It did look like a bar I'd want to go hang out in at the
Yeah.
beach there.
I guess maybe he's looking for that island. So he's trying to find the
Oh,
island.
I bet
Yeah.
you're right. He wants to. That's where you can see the island. You're
Yeah.
right.
So Bond scopes out the clinic across the water, but then he sees a woman emerging from the sea, which is our homage alert to Honey Rider and Dr. No. And this is Jinx, played by Halle Berry. This is the first Bond girl that would go on to win an acting Oscar. Not for this, but not counting Kim Basinger, who was in the non-Eon Never Say Never Again.
Okay.
She won for LA Confidential. But Halle Berry, everybody knows Halle Berry. But just in case you don't, she's best known for X-Men, Monsters Ball, Swordfish. She won her Oscar during the filming of this for Monsters Ball.
Well, one thing is, she's an actress. A lot of the Bond girls have been like models and people they pulled out of other places to be a Bond girl. She already was an actress. And I mean, you know,
She's a really good actress
good-
that was given some bad lines in this movie.
she was. But that scene where she walks out of the water, let me tell you, everybody remembers that. And that bathing suit, they all remember the bikini with that white like belt on it. I mean, man, that is something.
So Bond and Jinx banter. Jinx eventually, they're talking about predators and prey and stuff, and Jinx eventually says, "So what do predators do when the sun goes down?" And Bond says, "They feast like there's no tomorrow."
You missed one though.
Okay.
She's asking him what he does, and he says he's an ornithologist.
Okay.
And you see her eyes look down on Bond and then say, "Now there's a mouthful."
Okay.
Like down at his crotch.
Yes.
Now
What does that have to do with ornithologist?
Nothing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why this whole conversation is very double entendre,
I
Mike.
see.
Yes.
I'm not used to double entendre in a Bond movie.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why.
I know,
I
they
didn't
never
make
do
the
that.
connection. We did, but that night we have Slap and Tickle #1 with Jinx.
Now, here's my wife's comment. Does spying really involve sex with random women?
I can't tell you that, or otherwise I'd have to kill you.
Yeah. And my thought on that was, if it does, like when you go to the career fair, like do they bring this up as a skill you need or as part of what your responsibilities will be if you sign up, right? Well, just so you know, you're going to have sex with random people.
Are
It's
you
part
okay
of the
with that?
job. Yes. Do you think you can do that?
Have you ever done that? No, but I am willing to learn.
Exactly. Would they send me someone special for that?
We then have the next morning. Bond wakes up to find that Jinx is gone. Sees her hopping aboard a small boat. Now, I should say, back at that bar, there was some really loud... I think he was from South Africa. He was just being a real prick
He
to
was
everybody.
being a jerk, and he was with probably a prostitute who was sitting on his lap, I'm going to guess.
So Bond, he hears that this guy's going to that island.
Yeah.
He overhears them. So Bond visits this guy's hotel room.
Because he obviously must have overheard what room he was in.
Yeah. Immediately knocks him out.
Yeah.
And then there's a very attractive lady in the bed that just doesn't care. She's just nonchalant. She says hello.
He just says buenos dias.
Yeah. And he takes the guy's credentials so he can get into the clinic with him.
Yeah, well, he pretends to be his caregiver and
Yes,
puts him in a
yes.
wheelchair and wheels him.
So we're at the Isla Los Organos. This was shot at San Sebastian Castle in Cadiz, Spain. My favorite band of all time, REM, has a song where they name drop San Sebastian. Bond ditches the prick by rolling his wheelchair, and he just falls out of it.
It's really good. He just rolls him into a wall,
Yeah.
and the guy falls out of the wheelchair.
He then gets to this hallway where he sees this camera that's pointed at a random wall for some reason. So he
Yeah.
disables the camera, and it makes a really cool noise that you commented on.
Whenever I unplug things, they always go. "Choo."
Yeah. And then he touches around on the wall and activates a switch that opens a secret area of the clinic.
And at least when he did that, though, like snakes didn't come out of the wall or anything
Yeah.
like that. He just is suddenly in the secret back room.
Yes. We see Jinx then talking with a doctor about her DNA replacement therapy. Is there anybody less in need of DNA replacement than Holly
I know,
Berry?
right?
But then she shoots that doctor and burns all of her documents and starts hacking into the computer that's in
Well,
there.
the guy considered himself an artist, and she talked about how usually artists aren't famous until they're dead, and then she shoots
Yes, that was a good line. One of her few good little quippy things.
him. Mm-hmm.
Bond is roaming the halls looking for Zhao, eventually finds him getting his DNA therapy as well as some language lessons.
Here's what I wrote in my book. Wouldn't you start your DNA therapy to turn into somebody else by removing the diamonds from your face? I feel like that would be step one. That's just me, but I feel like that's the way I would go.
I mean, he was just at the end of phase 1, maybe at the start of phase 2, that's when they started taking the diamonds out.
Sure.
Sure, why not? Jinx sees that Zhao is currently, like I just said, Jinx sees that Zhao is currently through phase 1 of his transition to become some boring looking white dude that
Yep.
doesn't have diamonds in his face.
Right. Presumably not.
Zhao wakes up and fights with Bond, and this is where we get a nice stupid camera effect, a slow-mo shot of Bond putting Zhao's head into the x-ray screen.
I mean, that was a good move, shoving his head into the X-ray
It was.
screen. I feel like that would do a pretty good job of cutting someone up pretty well.
Bond activates a magnet that pulls the gun out of Zhao's hand, and the room catches on fire. Jinx sets a bomb in the doctor's office, discovers Bond is in the hallway. Bond is chasing Zhao, who jumps out of a window, and Bond is unable to follow him because of the bomb that Jinx had just activated that just went off. Fortunately, it was a small bomb, so it didn't kill Bond.
May I point out the fact that the bomb does no damage to the doctor.
Yeah.
The profile of herself that she burned
Was only half
successfully
burned.
was only half burned, and you still saw her picture
Yeah.
and basically all the text you needed to see. The bomb essentially did nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what the bomb was
It
for.
didn't hurt anybody in that room, even the dead guy.
Let me go ahead and just say this now. This is the part for me where it starts to go off the rails for me.
It does, but for me, we'll get
We'll
to
get
it.
there.
But it really, really
Yeah.
just absolutely stops at another point.
Jinx is pursuing Zhao as he runs to a conveniently available helicopter.
What was
At first, it was
I
like
wrote,
it's somebody.
what was the helicopter there for?
Yeah, at first it was like it was somebody else's helicopter, but then it seemed like
I
those people
guess.
knew him. It was weird.
Right, and they let him on there, and then Bond does the worst job of acting like he's running that I have ever seen in my entire life.
Before he gets out, he breaks the fourth wall and by shooting some sort of tube into one of the four walls, so he
I
can
know,
get out
right?
into the
Yeah. I
courtyard.
guess that was probably like an oxygen canister, and
yeah.
we're supposed to believe that it's under pressure, so it blows through there,
Yes.
which might be true.
He watches Zhao fly off. Jinx is up on some wall.
Yeah.
You
In the
no way you
castle.
can see what's going to happen here.
No.
She's
not
held at
all.
gunpoint.
Especially when she takes her shirt off.
Yeah, she looks over at Bond and then does a backflip off the side of the building.
Yeah,
and
because
is
you can't dive in the water with your shirt on.
no, picked up by some sidekicks on a boat.
And
Now
then-
Bond had taken a necklace off of Zhao's neck
Yeah,
that had a
yeah.
bullet on it,
Yeah.
and he opened up the bullet and he found that diamonds were in there.
Okay. I don't know what that proves. But the other thing, I guess it's the only way for
We'll
him
get to it in a
the
second.
diamonds. Yeah. But so Bond and Jinx had been being chased by these presumably security guards at the DNA facility. As soon as she dives, they just run away,
Yeah,
leaving
they don't
Bond
care about
by
Bond.
himself. They
Yeah.
apparently don't care about him, even though, okay, whatever.
Now we're back at Raoul's. Bond is showing Raoul the diamonds, and he says that the diamonds are identical to conflict. Well, I'm sorry. Raoul says that the diamonds belong to a guy by the name of Gustav Graves.
Because there's a GG symbol
GG,
on
yeah.
the diamond.
And then it says they're chemically identical to conflict diamonds from Sierra Leone.
Which you could tell just through the loop he's looking through them on after the careful chemical analysis of
Yes.
those diamonds.
This Gustav Graves is apparently somebody that discovered diamonds in Iceland a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We then randomly cut to Moneypenny at MI6, and she's listening to M's conversation with Falco. Not to be confused with Rock Me Amadeus.
Oh, man, I was waiting to go there. I'm like, Falco?
M is told to take care of Bond, or the NSA will do it for her. I don't know why they decided in this. Let's say NSA instead of CIA.
I don't know. But whatever, maybe we've made jerks enough of the CIA, so let's make the NSA look like jerks too.
Yeah. We are now on a plane heading to London, and we get the song London Calling playing. This is a very rare usage of a non-Bond song in a movie.
Yeah.
The only other one that I can recall is the terrible California Girls from A View to a Kill. And that's not even the Beach Boys version.
This is a little better, but still it's too on the nose. Like, do we need... Okay, he's flying to London. We get it. We probably would have noticed that when he landed in London. But maybe some people didn't notice that was London.
Here's a nice little tidbit of trivia. So the flight attendant brings Bond his signature drink.
Yep.
The flight attendant is Deborah Moore, daughter of Roger Moore.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty good. And he says, I guess it's a good thing I ordered it shaken.
Yeah. Bond is reading an article about Gustav Graves. If you look at the bottom right page, it does say there, diamonds are forever. Nice little tribute. We cut to Graves, who is parachuting in to, I assume, like Westminster Abbey area, something like that. So we get our homage alert where the Union Jack is his chute. So that's like the Union Jack from The Spy Who Loved Me. This is Toby Stevens, son of stage actor Sir Robert Stevens.
Oh, it's not the same guy who played Colonel Moon, who had DNA.
It's not the same actor, surprisingly.
Oh, amazing.
His mother is Maggie Smith.
Really?
Of Harry Potter and Downton Abbey fame. And Hook, for those people that love Hook like I do.
And he's supposedly is going to be knighted.
Yes, he's going to be knighted.
Here's what I wrote in my book. Now you guys can have this at the end of this if you want to bid on this. But here's what I wrote. Why are they making him a knight? Which I spelled N-I-G-H-T.
Wow,
how did I do that?
Amazing.
I know, right? But you can have this little sample
Unaltered.
of an error I've made, right, if you are willing to bid on this book.
Gustav dodges questions about a secret space program called Icarus. We then see Miranda Frost, who is his assistant. This is Rosamund Pike, who was like 23 at the time, but she's known for a lot of roles. She did Pride and Prejudice. She did Gone Girl, which you need to watch Gone Girl.
Okay.
And more importantly for me, the now canceled TV show, The Wheel of Time, my favorite book series of all time. She played Moraine Sedai on there. Basically the main character.
Yeah, she's a little bit older in that one, but yeah, she does a good job. That was a good show. I'm also sad they canceled it.
I actually got Charlie to read that entire book series.
I did. It was good.
Bond is looking on as Graves leaves to get NIGHTED'd.
Exactly. It was dark.
Yeah. Bond arrives at a gentleman's club where we get a little cameo. He arrives at this club and meets with somebody by the name of Verity.
I don't know if it's gentlemen because there are ladies in there.
Okay, I guess I should say fencing club. Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Meets with Verity, played by an occasional actress named Madonna, who is probably known for something else.
Well,
she had one minor hit song in the 80s called Lucky Star, but upon hearing this, Charlie deemed it a one-hit wonder.
I did. Actually, in the errors and omissions, it was actually Borderline. Where
it was Borderline. I thought it was Lucky Star.
I saw the video, and I was with my friend Pete. I mean, I can still remember saying this. I was in our family room with the green shag carpet,
and
I said, look at her. There's no way she's going to amount to anything. She's going to be a one-hit wonder. One of my best predictions of all time.
Very accurate. Verity says to Bond, I see you handle your weapon well. We get a nice quip here. I've been known to keep my tip up.
Yeah. By the way, you called her an actress, and I would maybe call her a person who has been in movies.
Have you seen A League of Their Own? She's great in A League of Their
Yeah,
Own.
League of Their Own
She's
is
good in
good.
Dick Tracy.
I feel like maybe she's herself in A League of Their Own
Maybe. I
almost,
don't know.
but
She was the halftime entertainment for the one Super Bowl that took place in the great city of Indianapolis.
yeah.
I like Madonna. I'll always like Madonna. She's talking, or Verity's talking about how Miranda Frost is actually the expert fencer, and that she won. Was it gold? I think she won gold in the
I
Olympics.
thought it was bronze.
Oh,
But
okay, bronze.
she definitely would. She won some medal in the Olympics.
But Bond said because like somebody was disqualified,
Yeah.
she won it. So now we have James Bond meeting Gustav Graves. And Gustav says, "Care to place a bet, Verity?" As they're kind of like going back and forth, and they're going
Because
to,
Bond is obviously going to fence him
Yeah.
because it's one of those things, obviously, that James Bond knows how to do.
of course,
Yeah.
So they're gonna have this little fencing match. Gustav says, "Care to place a bet, Verity?" Verity says, "No thanks. I don't like cockfights."
Nice.
Good line. So the cockfight begins with with Graves getting the first point. The fencing sequence was coordinated by Olympic fencer Bob Anderson. His other credits are pretty obscure, but let's see if you know any of them. He did sword fighting in Star Wars. I think that
I've
was
heard of
something
that.
from the late 70s.
I feel like I've heard of that.
He did it in something called Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I don't think there
I've
was
heard of
much
that one,
sword
too.
fighting in that.
No, there probably was some, though. Because didn't Gimli have a sword that he...
No, Gimli had an axe.
Oh, that's right. Somebody had a sword.
Gimli, played by the great John Rhys Davies from The Living Daylights.
Yeah.
General Pushkin. He was also a stuntman in From Russia with Love. Pretty good credits.
And I'm assuming this is not actually Pierce Brosnan and Gustav Graves doing the sword
It
fighting.
is.
Oh, is it?
It is, but they filmed it at a slower speed, and then they sped up the film, so it looked more frenetic.
They had it really choreographed and did it
Yes.
very slowly, but then they sped it up
Yes.
to look normal speed.
But it looked good.
It did. I mean, and they really destroy that place, don't
Yeah.
they?
After the first hit, Bond does raise the stakes with the diamond that he kept from Zhao, and then he gets his own point against Graves, and Graves getting all pissed about it. The cockfight then escalates with Bond and Graves fighting throughout the club.
With real swords this time.
They take out an armored knight, and then they take their fight outside. Eventually, Bond does, because they say that at that point, Graves is like, okay, first to draw blood on the torso wins.
Yeah.
So Bond draws blood. Graves falls into a fountain, and then Miranda steps in and says it's over. And Graves is all fine about it after that. He shakes Bond's hand, and then they go down to the lobby. Graves pays Bond and invites him to check out this Icarus project in Iceland.
Yeah. I wonder if Bond will go.
Bond then gets a letter that has a key in it. So he's summoned to this abandoned subway station by M. Bond makes a little comment, abandoned station for abandoned agents.
Yeah. Did you notice, and there's a big sign in there that says "Way Out."
Nice.
I was like, that must be where they send people. This is your way out.
Yeah.
We're sending you out.
M gives Bond some background on Graves, talks about Icarus and that Cuban clinic called the Beauty Parlor. Bond shows M the conflict diamonds he got from Zhao, and M ultimately decides to bring Bond back into the fold.
Who could have predicted
Yeah, imagine
that would happen?
We now go into Bond's office, which I think this is only the second time we've seen Bond in his office.
Yeah, I liked
they do it in
that.
the book a lot. Like he's in his office a lot.
He's in his office a lot in the book, and he talks to his secretary quite a bit.
Who
in the book.
is?
Oh, I can't remember.
Mary Goodnight.
Goodnight. I knew it was good.
From Man with a Golden Gun.
Yeah.
I would love to know what drink Bond has in that decanter in there, but I'll never know.
No.
Bond then hears some shots fired. And then he walks out and goes and sees Moneypenny and others are dead. And then he starts taking out all these attackers.
Yeah.
He then sees Robinson and they clear out all the rooms. They get to M's office and they see that M is being held hostage.
Robinson gets killed, doesn't he?
No,
in
I
the
don't
office.
Does Robinson get
I
killed?
think he does in
Okay.
the office, and only Bond's left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Bond takes out the other guys and then it's just the one that's holding M. He shoots M to save her. and then Q walks in.
Right.
And
He
it's
shoots basically through her
Yeah.
to the guy.
Yes.
That hits the guy, and then
Q walks in, revealing it's all a simulation. Imagine if VR actually looked that good. It
I
still
know,
doesn't
right?
look that good.
No.
There's a little back and forth between them, and then we get a nice reference to Monty Python where Bond says, "You'll see that he's dead, and she only has a flesh wound."
Yes.
That was
That's
good.
a good one.
They go to a warehouse where all of these old relics are stored, which are amazing. This is one of my favorite parts of this
It's
movie.
a great scene.
We get the briefcase from Russia with Love. We get the jetpack from Thunderball, which he tries to
He
activate.
tries to activate him like it still works, man.
It's nice to see that they took Rosa Klebb's knife boot and put it in this
Yes,
warehouse.
Exactly.
We have the alligator submarine from Octopussy. We see little Nellie from You Only Live Twice. And we see Bond's little aircraft from Octopussy, the one at the beginning where he's pretending to be that general and he flies away and then asks to fill her up.
Yes. That's a great room. And I feel like if you paused it, there might even be
There's
more stuff
probably
in
some
there.
more, yeah.
That was really good.
Q then takes out a gun, shoots this glass wall, and then it has this ring, and he twists the ring, and he puts it up against the wall, and it shatters it. So that's our first gadget, the glass shattering ring, which uses an ultra high frequency.
I bet he's not going to need to use that.
We won't see that
He'll
again.
never need it.
Bond thinks Q's gone crazy because he shows him an empty train cart that is his new transportation. But wait, here's our second gadget. It is the Aston Martin Vanquish, which he calls the Aston Martin Vanish.
Yes.
It's technically not invisible, it's camouflaged. But it comes with all the important stuff, the ejector seat, the torpedoes, target-seeking shotguns. And Q... First, Bond says, "You must be joking," and then Q gets, in honor of Desmond Llewellyn, like my predecessor, "I never joke about my work." He does say that.
Yes.
So Q gives Bond the instruction manual for this car so he can see all the specs. Bond immediately throws it up in the air, and the targeting shotguns blow it to smithereens.
He says, "I'm sure you can shoot through this quickly."
Yeah, yes.
And then he throws
You ought to shoot through that in a couple hours.
Yeah.
And Bond says, "Just took a few seconds, Q." And then Q says, "Wish I could make you vanish."
Now, did you notice that he also gave him a watch?
Well, yeah. He said it's his 20th
He said
watch.
it's his 20th. Now, this is your 20th. See if you can bring it back. It's the
Yes.
20th movie.
I know.
Perfect.
Nice reference. M is now meeting with an agent who turns out to be Miranda Frost, Graves' secretary. She's an MI6 agent. They discuss Bond in not very flattering detail. And Frost seems pretty, at this point, smitten with Graves. You can tell. She even says, like, so far he's clean.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. So now we are going to go to Iceland, and we're going to pause there and get our next companion beverages.
Oh, it's about time.
We are back, and we are starting off with the Einstock White Ale, which is a beer that I have never had.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
Miracles never cease.
cheers.
There's not a lot of taste to it.
It's very white ale. It's
very-
very
yeah.
wit beer.
Yeah.
Read the style guide. Pure Icelandic glacier water
Okay.
and a classic wit beer recipe
Okay.
combined to create our Icelandic white ale. Crafted clean and crisp, the balanced addition of orange peel, coriander, and rolled oats ensure this beer remains incredibly flavorful and refreshingly drinkable. It is very similar to Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Do you like Blue
think so.
Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it, but it doesn't do much for me.
For my untapped rating, because I know everybody's dying to know, I give it a 3.8. 3.8 is good.
Yeah. What's your average rating, do you think, that you give anything?
3.85. I was able to immediately get that.
I figured you would be.
For all of our loyal listeners, this is my 3,921st unique beer. Almost 4,000. That puts me in the Hall of Fame. 4,000, you're definitely a Hall of Famer.
I would think so. What's so weird is it doesn't really fit with your personality, like obsessively, like, drinking and logging these things.
I know. I'm pretty, like, even
or
keeled.
watching movies
Yeah.
or collecting things or what have you.
Yeah. I live more vicariously without any kind of,
Yeah.
monitoring, tracking, or anything.
Mhm.
That would just
Yeah,
be
yeah.
that would be insane. Anybody that would do that would be insane.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're now in Iceland. Bond is driving his Vanquish to a giant CGI building.
Right?
Pierce Brosnan, Halle Berry, and Toby Stevens never once stepped foot in Iceland for filming, but it was filmed in Iceland. Just not any of the stuff with them in it.
Yeah, I mean, probably none of the indoor scenes were in Iceland.
Exactly. Bond
Interesting.
parks his car where he meets a guy by the name of Mr. Kill. We get a little quip here. Well, that's a name. There's a name to die for.
Yeah, good one.
Graves arrives in his vehicle that definitely isn't compensating for anything. It's some land speed thing that you should have driven that over today.
Yeah, it's like
In the snow.
a land speed record, but on skis type of thing, like a jet car. But
Yeah,
like
the first part looked very
cycle thing.
CGI.
Oh
The
yeah,
first part.
yeah. And there doesn't appear to be enough room to actually run that thing, right? When they show the lake, it's not really very big. I don't know.
Bond meets with
Whatever.
Miranda Frost, who takes him through the building into his room. We then see him
After
living up to her name.
well, he meets Graves, and he says how he's heard he doesn't sleep, and he says,
Oh, yes.
"There's plenty of time to sleep when you're dead."
Nice. It's true.
I suppose so.
Jinx then arrives in a 2002 Ford Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Man, do you remember when these came out?
I
That
remember
was
when
a
they
big
brought 'em
deal
back.
because
It-
they looked pretty sharp. I
They
liked
do
them.
look pretty cool. I mean, they still look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Thunderbirds were cool. So I don't know how much you know about Thunderbirds. Back in like the 50s and 60s, Thunderbirds were awesome.
Yeah.
And my father had a string of them because his mother would buy a Thunderbird, and then at the 2-year point, so it used to be that you could only keep a car for like 2 years.
Mhm.
Like people would buy them and then get rid of them because things would start to go wrong and whatever. They'd keep a car 2 years, but she would give hers to my father, and so he'd
Yeah.
have these cool Thunderbirds
Okay.
that he got to drive. In the 70s, Thunderbirds became gigantic land yachts that were not good looking. Although I'd take one now because they're so ridiculous, but they were very long. They were not convertibles anymore, although almost all convertibles went away in the 70s
Yeah.
because of safety regulations and all this stuff. But they were not good. But when they brought that back, it was a big deal. And that is a very cool car.
Yeah, I remember those being pretty cool looking.
Because they harken back to the original old, like 50s and 60s
Yeah.
ones. They're very cool.
So Bond does spot Jinx at the bar. So he comes up and they start to banter. Jinx makes
She's in a nice hotel in a backless, barely there dress.
we get the first of many groan-worthy Jinx one-liners. Sorry I left you in an explosive situation. Ugh.
Yeah.
We cut to Zhao visiting with Gustav while he's getting his DNA treatment. And for like I did say, for Zhao, it does look like diamonds are forever because they're still in his face.
I
Now he's
know,
all like
right?
pale and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say he's a good henchman. He's a really good henchman, actually.
Oh, he's
Almost
pretty
a villain.
evil and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, I mean, he's up there.
This is where we learn, shockingly, that Graves is actually Colonel Moon.
Dun, dun, dun. Who's gone through DNA treatment?
Something a bit racist about this, Like the Korean guy decided to become a white dude.
Yeah, although, I mean, turning from your one race to another race is a good way to fly under the
I guess.
radar. And I mean, I guess that part of it. And he does, so he goes into business doing what he knows how to do, which
Yeah.
is diamonds. Like, it's okay. But,
I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I want to just point out here, Colonel Moon. There is actually a Bond book, which I do own, which I will read, that's called Colonel Sun.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be interesting. Frost comes back, arrives, and chats with Jinx and Bond. We then go to Graves speaking to the crowd. He talks about Icarus, which
Why
is...
are there all the cars there? Aren't they inside that giant ice hotel?
don't
I
know.
don't understand. What are
Well,
all
no,
those...
they're outside because he's showing them Icarus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But they got all those cars parked right
Yeah.
there. They're like in the parking lot, I guess.
Icarus is a giant satellite with a mirror that I guess is going to be able to cause plants to grow year round or something.
In one tiny little area.
Yeah,
I
very
mean,
tiny.
it shines the light on such a small area. I'm like, how is this going to change the
Yeah.
world? Like, now we can grow plants 24/7 in one tiny quarter-acre
Yeah.
spot.
Homage alert. Of course, this is Diamonds Are Forever. Using diamonds to power a satellite. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
I
But
know.
surely Graves is not going to be like Blofeld and use it as a weapon. No way.
Oh, no possible way. And of course, this is this is the one realistic part about this. Billionaires never build their own satellites and send them into space.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally unrealistic.
Yeah. Bond is then sneaking around in his Vanquish. You see some hot springs. And then we meet. This guy's not even going to get on the rankings because he's such a pathetic waste of space. Graves' henchman by the name of Vlad, who looks like Wild Bill from Silence of the Lambs,
Oh, yeah.
gives Graves his Nintendo Power Glove to be
Yeah.
able to control Icarus.
Well, this is after, so he gets done with the speech, and they take his weird metallic oval suitcase and carry it with him, which
Yeah.
I guess is the controls to the Icarus or something, or whatever he was giving the
Yes.
speech with.
Graves gives a little comment here where he says armed and very dangerous.
Boo. I did write NES Power Glove on there, but I also, they had to walk through a lot of automatic ice doors
Nice.
in there, right? So not only did we make all these buildings out of ice, but we put mechanics in there to open these doors automatically, these ice, because ice doesn't weigh very much, Mike. It's really
Right.
super light. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
no big deal to make a mechanism to open that ice door.
Speaking briefly about the Nintendo Power Glove,
Yeah.
if anybody wants to watch a great movie from my childhood that was basically a 90-minute Nintendo commercial that extensively featured the Nintendo Power Glove, watch the movie called The Wizard, starring Fred Savage, Christian Slater, Beau Bridges, and a lady by the name of Jenny Lewis, who later was in a band called Rilo Kiley.
Okay.
Alternative band. She's semi-popular.
There's also a good episode of the Goldbergs TV
Of course
show
there is.
that centers around the Nintendo Power Glove.
Nice. Kids, the Power Glove was basically a device that you could use for two games, Rad Racer and Punch Out.
It's kind
And
of
it
like
didn't work very well in either, but I did have one. I
Yeah.
had a Nintendo Power Glove.
it's kind of like the gun that came with the
Yeah.
Nintendo, which was useful for duck hunt, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Or the robot. Do you remember the robot,
No.
Rob? There was a robot called Rob that basically had two games that he played. There was one called Gyromite, where it basically just lifted these little, like, almost look like golf tees.
Okay.
And they put them on different spots, and it opened doors so that the guy could walk through. But it was packed in with the original NES.
Wow.
Yeah. This has been an episode of Charlie and Mike wax nostalgic.
Exactly. I liked how Bond, he's following these guys where they're doing the Power Glove thing in the ice building, and he takes his invisible car over, and then he gets out and he's walking through the snow, like, I guess in his wingtips, which are great in the snow. Notoriously, flat-bottomed, leather-soled shoes are just great for walking around in the snow.
Flat bottom shoes do make the rockin' world go round, though.
Wow. What I wrote in my book, walk in snow in wingtips?
Bond eventually gets discovered by a guard that he immediately dispatches. More henchmen arrive. Bond gives them a cold reception, similar to Boris and Goldeneye.
Yeah.
We then have Bond getting grabbed by Miranda Frost, who gives him a big smooch and reveals to him that she's MI6.
Yeah.
While Bond
Because
continues...
she says, M said that you would do this.
Yeah. While Bond continues to put the moves on an uninterested Miranda Frost, Jinx is infiltrating the facility. And then Bond and Frost go to his room, where she immediately undresses and hops into bed with him.
Right? First of all, undressing was very easy for her because she
Yeah,
apparently had nothing on under that
Yep.
dress. She just undoes one thing and it falls to the floor.
And I'm okay with that.
Right. And she gets in the ice bed and immediately gets it. By the way, ice bed just doesn't sound that great.
No, sounds very cold. There's definite shrinkage in an ice bed.
Oh, I mean, my gosh. You're in an ice hotel in an ice bed. I mean, come on.
Bond then undresses, but then he puts a gun under his pillow because he always does. And we get slap and tickle number 2 with Miranda Frost.
Yeah.
We go back to
It's
Jinx.
so unbelievable to
Yeah.
me. This scene just, I'm like, why is she doing this?
We go
All
back
they
to,
had to do was get in the room together.
Yeah.
That's all they had to do.
we go back to Jinx, who finds Zhao in the DNA chamber, and she's presumably
Wearing
going to
a
execute
super
him.
cool mask.
Yeah. And while she's trying to do that, she gets shocked by Graves with some very awesome CGI electrical shocking.
Did you look up whether 100,000 volts will kill a person? It
I
sounds
would
like
think
something
so.
that would kill a person, doesn't it? Like she doesn't seem to suffer any ill effects, really.
Well, all I know, I mean, a strike of lightning is 1.21 gigawatts.
It is 1.21
So,
gigawatts.
I mean,
That's enough to travel through time.
yeah. You know, interesting side note. My grandfather was struck by lightning
Really?
and survived. So,
Wow. Well, I mean, people do survive, but the 100,000 volts not stopping, right? He's holding on to her.
how do you
giving her
convert
the 100,000
a
volts.
watt to a volt, I guess would be.
I don't know. So there's amps, right? If you take the amps and the volts and combine them somehow in some equation, I think you get the watts because like certain things are high amperage, and maybe amperage is what kills you, not volts. I don't know. I can't remember this whole thing.
I don't know, but all our listeners at this point are like,
Yeah, any of our
what's the
electrical
hell
engineers.
what's the hell is going on right now?
Somebody write in. This has been Science Minute.
Nice. Remember Mr. Wizard? I
Yes,
loved Mr.
I do.
Wizard.
Yeah, yeah.
He'd know.
He would know.
Anyway, Bond is now getting dressed. Frost makes sure to give him his gun. And then we get Jinx strapped to a torture device, and this is stupid camera effect time where let's slow motion behind Zhao around the torture device.
For some reason.
Yeah. And we also get Zhao asking Jinx, who sent you? And Jinx says, your mama, and she told me to tell you she's really disappointed in you. Oh, so bad.
A great Yo Mama joke right there, right? I mean, terrific. Outstanding. That is some good writing.
This is 2002.
I
Yo
know.
Mama jokes were the 90s.
I know.
I was in like 7th and 8th grade when
And they
were
weren't even
popular.
that good
No.
at the time, right? They were for young children
Mm-hmm.
who thought they were funny.
Of course, we have an homage alert here with the Goldfinger laser scene.
Except not going for a crotch this time.
Yeah.
Going for the neck, I guess.
Yes.
But once again, very, very,
Very
slowly.
slowly. Yeah. Bond uses his own laser watch to create a hole in the ice.
Mhm.
It's very important that Zhao leaves while the henchman slowly kills Jinx. Mr. Kill says he wants to kill her with the laser.
As slowly as possible and with no witnesses.
Yeah. Bond uses his trusty breathing device from Thunderball to emerge in the hot springs.
You want to know what I wrote in my book? He swims into the Rainforest Cafe.
Oh, I love that reference. That's awesome.
I mean, seriously.
I'm not going to lie. I liked the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
no,
know.
there's nothing not to like about it, but that's the first thing
It's
I thought is that
absolutely
suddenly he's in the Rainforest Cafe.
100%. Great reference. Bond sees Jinx's rope and hears Jinx moaning in pleasure. She did not sound like she was about to get cut with a laser. She
I
sounded like
really-
she was about on the edge of an
Yeah.
orgasm.
I know.
Bond fights with Mr. Kill while a bunch of CGI lasers miss everyone for the most part. They do.
I wrote crazy lasers.
Yeah.
But how could they not hit anything? And they cut through nothing, apparently.
Yeah.
Like no actual things in the room get damaged by them.
Jinx gets a little line, switch it off or I'm going to be half the girl I used to be. Ugh.
Oh, that was bad. Oh my gosh, that was bad.
Bond eventually does shut off the lasers, continues to fight with Mr. Kill, and Mr. Kill, they're like, Mr. Kill's over Bond, and then all of a sudden you see Mr. Kill get lasered in the back of the head by Jinx.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing she knows how to, like, she steals that control unit and knows exactly how to use it to
Yeah.
guide a laser to go right through the back of
Yeah.
his head, through his mouth. And it's a good thing Bond wasn't right in front of him.
Yeah. Jinx tells Bond that Zhao is at the Ice Palace, and then he finally realizes that Graves is actually Colonel Moon
Yeah.
because of the device that the mask thing, that the DNA alteration
Yeah,
device.
he says he didn't bring it with him.
It was already here. Yeah. Jinx cuts off Kill's hand so they can get out of the room.
That was a good use of the laser.
It was.
I like that.
And Bond starts to hunt for Graves. Bond does find him, calls him Colonel. And then Bond says, "So you live to die another day."
Dun, dun, dun.
Have we had any movie where the name was not said in the movie? The name of the movie? I don't think we have. We'll have to go back and
now
research
we have
that.
to look this up.
Frost arrives, puts a gun on Moon/Graves, but then turns the gun on Bond, realizes she's a double agent and that she's the one that's been betraying Bond.
Or as I wrote, Frost is a bad guy.
Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
No.
Bond tries to shoot her, but Frost had emptied his gun that night. Would Bond really not have checked?
Right.
Yeah.
He's not a very good spy, though.
Apparently.
I mean, he's pretty careless.
Jinx searches for Frost while Zhao, Graves, Bond, and Frost chat. And then Bond uses his trusty ring to shatter the conveniently glass floor.
Yeah. That was silly. That was kind of cool.
It was cool.
Because they all fall through the floor. I mean, obviously, how convenient is it they have a glass floor? But it was kind of cool that they all fell through the floor.
Bond escapes, but I need you to answer me this. We're not continuing until you answer this.
I can't
Why did
wait.
Graves tell Zhao to kill him quietly?
I don't know.
Here's the only thing I can figure. It was a mistake in the subtitles, and meant to say quickly. But for
Maybe.
some reason, they put quietly.
Maybe.
That's all I can figure.
I don't know.
Anyway, Bond escapes from the top of the Epcot Center, and Bungie runs down the side of it.
And meanwhile, Graves some guys come in the room, and Graves is explaining to them the Icarus, trying to sell it to him.
Yeah.
I guess he sends them out, but then he brings in the guys who he's going to sell it to. And
He called them generals. I mean, were they North Korean? Probably, I guess.
Maybe. And then he tells them he's going to show them the true power of Icarus,
Yeah.
which apparently is melting ice. As far as I can tell.
Bond is escaping in his CGI land speeder.
Because it's so useful to escape in that, because it can go straight.
Mm-hmm.
And only straight.
Graves then activates Icarus, aims it at Bond. And this is your favorite part, where
gosh.
Bond eventually there's like a hook that grapples
Which he knows
stops in the
exists,
ice.
obviously.
Yeah, he knows exists. And then he goes over the side of this ice cliff, and the speeder then bounces off of the side of the ice cliff. Very, very impressive CGI there.
I expected at the top of that cliff for Yukon Cornelius to be there and push the Bumble over the cliff, because that's about the level of effect of that ice speeder bouncing against the cliff. It is so bad.
Respectfully, I disagree. I think that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer has better special effects than Die Another Day.
I mean, it looks ridiculous hanging off the edge of that cliff.
When's the last time you watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
I don't know. It hadn't been that long, but I don't know, a few years.
It hasn't aged well in some spots.
Oh my gosh, Santa
This is man's
so
work.
mean.
He is mean.
Santa is mean. And the parents are awful people. All the adults are, I mean, the one guy tells Dasher that he should be ashamed of himself because Rudolph has a red nose. It's unbelievably bad.
Well, the mom wants to go help, and the dad's like, no, this is man's work.
I know. It's terrible.
This has been an episode of Charlie and Mike Are Both Old, and referencing a show from the 60s.
Yes.
So yeah, we get this bungee over the cliff that looks terrible, and then Bond gets... The CGI cliff collapses, causing a CGI tidal wave. And then Bond, in the most appalling scene in
Oh my
a
gosh.
Bond movie ever, is water skiing down a wave.
He's like windsurfing.
Yes.
He's taken the
Okay,
top of the
yes.
cockpit, right?
Yeah.
He took the top of the cockpit. He's standing on it with a parachute that is pulling him along.
Yeah.
It is unbelievably bad in every possible respect it can be bad.
Can I just point out that Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring came out a year before this. And the CGI in that is so much better than
Yeah.
this. That looks so terrible that it basically ruins the movie.
Well, part of the problem is the premise is so ridiculously
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Can you make a man parasailing on an artificial wave on a surfboard actually look good? I'm not sure that
Probably
there
not.
is a way to make it look
Yeah.
good because it's so stupid.
Yeah. I agree.
It's really, really bad.
Is this where Die Another Day drops below Diamonds Are Forever? We'll
Oh
find
my-
out soon.
Yes, right. If it's going to do it, from here on out, things only get worse.
So we have Zhao and Frost looking for Jinx. They go into the room where Jinx is at. Jinx kicks Zhao right in the face. Great shot. But then gets sassed by Miranda Frost, and then they just close the door and leave her in there and walk away again.
I know, they just closed the door on her. The ice door.
Bond uses his non-CGI parachute to clothesline a guy on a snowmobile and then hijacks it.
Oh my gosh. Or as I said, Bond steals snowmobile.
Nice. Zhao and Gustav are planning to leave at this point, and Bond sees a CGI plane fly over.
I know, right? A giant plane.
Yeah. Bond activates the Vanquish, uses it to search for Jinx. But then a snowmobile comes along, hits the Vanquish, and Zhao notices this, sends out the henchman, and hops into his own fancy car, which is a Jaguar XK4, which is a beautiful car.
As
I
we
love
say
the
it-
green.
I do. British Racing Green. As we say, Jaguar.
Nice. What is this we? You're not British.
I know. By the way, a Jaguar convertible, super practical car to have in Iceland.
Oh, sure. With the invisibility deactivated, Bond is chased by Zhao on the ice. Here's another stupid camera effect. The car chase has a nice brief slow motion moment.
Mm-hmm.
I will say both of these cars did end up getting modified to be front wheel drives for this scene. Because this was real. The cars were real.
Mm-hmm. And you can't drive those cars in snow and have them actually.
Rear wheel
They would have
drive.
basically just been moving nowhere and going in circles and
donuting.
doing donuts. I know, right? Neither one
Yeah.
is the car you would want in that snow. They're both also way too powerful
Yeah.
to be in that snow with rear-wheel drive.
We see Jinx trying to escape. Zhao ends up having more toys on his car than Bond does. Bond continues dodging Zhao as
Yeah,
he
this is probably the first time we've seen somebody else's car that actually has
That had all-
missiles
yeah,
and has
yeah.
effects, right? So they're fighting with their various, secret weapons.
And during this whole time, Bond's camouflage on his car is not working. So it just has to reset. So he must have control deleted it or whatever.
Exactly.
So he continues to dodge Zhao. But then he gets flipped over. And then he uses the
boy.
passenger ejector seat to flip his car right side up again. They
I'd
really
like
they really did that, just so you know. That's not a CGI thing or anything. They flipped the car.
Yes, but not with an ejector seat.
No.
I feel like, based on the laws of physics, that might not actually flip the car over to fire an ejection
I
seat.
wouldn't think so.
No, because the ejection seat's no longer part of the car at that
Yeah.
point. I don't know. Whatever.
Graves activates Icarus, begins melting the CGI ice palace. Jinx continues trying to escape as the palace starts to melt. Bond takes out some henchmen that are arriving on snowmobiles, crashes through the ice palace in pursuit of Jinx, and Zhao is still following him.
By the way, did you know that at this time, all of these cars would have been Ford vehicles?
Okay.
Because Jaguar and Aston Martin would have been owned by
Oh,
Ford
okay.
at the time this was made. So, we've had the Ford in Cuba.
They had the one in Cuba.
We had the
yeah.
Thunderbird show up at the hotel.
Thunderbird, yeah.
But at the time, Ford-owned Jaguar and Aston Martin
Wow.
as well.
Look at Charlie with the research. Good job.
No,
Or just the knowledge. You just knew that, of
I
course.
just like
Yeah.
cars. I knew that.
Bond reaches a dead end in the palace. Fortunately, the camouflage comes back just in time so that he can disappear and back up a wall by activating these spikes in his tires so that he can just slide up the wall.
Just so you know, I'd have had the spikes turned on for the entire car
Yeah.
chase on the ice, the top of the ice on that lake.
Zhao charges towards Bond, but then the car disappears, and then he ends up crashing through ice and going into the water. We get more stupid camera effects where Zhao's car goes slow-mo as it flips into the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bond takes out Zhao with there's a chandelier of glass that falls as Zhao is escaping from the water, and it crushes him, and we see red. So it's safe to say Zhao's dead at this point.
I think so.
He then goes to get Jinx out of the water and escapes the ice palace.
And then they get hypothermia and they die.
Yeah. Bond carries Jinx to the hot spring to warm her up by groping her endlessly.
He rubs her boobs, which is how you revive somebody, at least as far as I know.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Yes. It looks ridiculous.
It does. Then we have Bond seeing another plane fly away, and we'll take a quick break here to pour our second companion beverage.
All right.
Or I'm sorry, our third companion beverage.
Yeah.
Our second beer. We are back. We have an Einstück toasted porter, which, full disclosure, I have had before.
But how could you possibly remember it within all of the ones you've had?
It has been 6 years since I've had it.
What did you say what was your rating?
I gave it a 4. So this is an aromatic coffee from some words I can't pronounce. Subtly bands together with toasted malt undertones in our Baltic porter. So it's going to be a little thinner being a Baltic porter. While dark in color, this classical version of a lagered porter has a medium mouthfeel and dark chocolate notes that result in a smooth on the palate, easy to drink brew you'll want to face again and again.
Blah, blah,
Speaking of Iceland,
yeah.
Have you ever listened to a band by the name of Sigur Rós?
Yeah.
I recently discovered them like within the last 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
I highly recommend them to anybody. Not to spoil it too much, but we're going to, after the Bond journey,
because we can't stop this.
We can't stop.
Now that we're started, we can't possibly stop.
Right. So we're going to do movies with a lot. We're going to continue the companion theme with spirits and stuff, but we're going to expand it, and we're going to have other things that we want that we say would be a good companion for a movie. So be it a book or a song or an album.
This is the first I'm learning of this here, live on the show.
I know. So it'll be fun. So, because obviously at that, once we get past Bond, it's gonna be a little different. We're gonna go one movie at a time. It's not gonna be about lore and everything as much. It's gonna be about us having good pairings with the movie.
So if we watch a movie like with a strip club in it, we'll obviously have to go to an actual strip club.
Yeah, and probably find some cocaine.
Do you know how uncomfortable I would be going to a strip club?
Kind of makes me want to do it.
I know. I have no interest in doing it.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. It's good.
Yeah.
It is mild. It is on the thinner side, but it is very good. It does have a nice maltiness. It's got enough of that little coffee flavor in there to be
a little bit of smokiness. Just a little bit. I know you love the smoky beers, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
We are now in and over North and South Korea.
Okay.
We're at the U.S. command bunker in the DMZ, or right outside of the DMZ, whatever, in South Korea.
Okay.
Bond and Jinx arrive, none the worse for wear. Robinson's there. He meets with Jinx and Bond in the bunker. We see some troops.
Everyone's friends now.
Yeah. We see some troops gathering on both sides of Korea. Falco and M talk with Bond and Jinx. He insists they find graves together. We then go in the air over North Korea. Bond and Jinx fly some personalized CGI aircraft.
Called Switchblades.
Switchblades.
I don't know why.
It does turn into skydiving, and at least the skydiving wasn't CGI.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they couldn't just skydive, but I guess they can like drive these little switchblades around. But it seems like you could just drop them in the right place.
Yeah.
But whatever.
A missile is fired at the Icarus. Of course, it's destroyed by the CGI laser beam.
Yep. Thank goodness.
At that point, the U.S. orders mobilization of the South Korean troops. Why are they able to order mobilization? I mean, I guess there is still a U.S. military base there.
Probably we have like a joint military presence
Okay.
at the DMZ. I don't know.
Little tidbit
I'm no
here.
military historian, but my nephew.
You ain't no military son.
Right. My nephew's been stationed right there at the DMZ in the Army. Right.
Wow.
He was there right at the DMZ, and his job was driving the colonel around.
Okay.
He was the colonel's driver.
Okay.
Seems like if you're going to have a job in the Army. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's cool.
The person giving the mobilization order is Michael G. Wilson. So we get another Michael G. Wilson cameo.
Yeah.
Bond and Jinx spy on Graves and Frost as they are about to take flight.
And they talk about the windage.
Yeah.
Did you hear him talk about the windage as they're trying to figure out how to snipe them?
Yeah. It's always good that seeing people run and catch up to a plane just in time.
Yeah, it is. And it's good when not only are you a spy, but you're also the bionic man and you're able to run faster than an airplane. Because, of course, airplanes are notoriously slow vehicles, right? So
that's how they get up in the air, is by going really slow.
really slow. So it's easy to run alongside an airplane from behind and catch up to it.
Graves orders his father to be brought to the command center on the plane, and he greets his father looking like an MCU villain. That get-up that he had on at that point, we're just out of control here.
It's ridiculous.
Bond and Jinx make their way through the plane.
I wrote, did you notice? So he's got armor on. Did you notice that he brought like the statue, the bust that he had in his office when he was first doing the like fighting with the guy in the bag, the punching of the guy in the bag? He brought that with him on the plane.
Who do you suppose that was?
I don't know. But I wrote, he brought statue, ? Yeah. And then some great father-son love happens.
Yeah. General Moon discovers that Graves is his son, Colonel Moon, and asks, "What have you done to yourself?"
Yeah.
At this point, Graves activates his NES power glove,
Yes.
moves the Icarus beam, and starts blowing up stuff. He's clearing the minefield so that the North Korean army can invade the South Korean.
Because I guess this has been his plan all along.
Yeah. Bond and Jinx continue moving through the plane, take out some henchmen. Graves is then discussing taking out Japan and then taking out the West using Icarus to take out nuclear warheads when the U.S. attacks. They always assume that the U.S. is going to be the ones that fire the nukes. When has the U.S. ever used nukes for any war? I ask you.
Right. Of all countries.
Of all countries.
I mean, but that was totally justified.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions, right?
Yeah.
We'd never fight anyone. We'd just be like, okay, fine, all right. We don't want to hurt anybody.
Jinx takes out one of the pilots while Bond heads for the command center. General Moon threatens to shoot Graves, but then Graves electrocutes him and then shoots him. We get, once again, a stupid camera effect where
See you later, Dad.
Yeah, General Moon's slow-mo falls to the ground.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the direction, the filming, it is, the effects are so bad.
Bond tries to shoot Graves, but a henchman stops him, so he puts a hole in the window of the plane instead.
Which is bad, as I understand it.
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
Vladimir Popov, barely worth the title of henchman, is pulled out of the window. Nice homage to Goldfinger, where Goldfinger goes out the window of the plane. Jinx steadies the plane as Miranda Frost surprises her
The
in a
the
very
plane is basically crashing
it's
this
destroy.
whole
Yes,
time. For like 10
yeah.
minutes the plane is about to crash.
Yeah. Why is Miranda Frost wearing almost nothing? She's got like a sports bra on at this point.
I wrote the insightful line, "What is Frost wearing?"
Not that
I
I'm
mean,
complaining.
I'm not complaining, but it's ridiculous.
It is. And seriously, why not just
It's
put a
more
bullet?
ridiculous than the Laura Croft outfit, right?
Yes,
From a few
I
movies
agree.
back,
I
right?
agree.
It's more ridiculous because at least she is in like this really hot suit,
Yeah.
de-arming nuclear devices. So you wouldn't want to wear a
Yeah.
lot of hot clothes, right? And you're in a hot climate,
Yeah,
right?
absurd.
Yeah.
And why not just use a gun? Why do you have to prove your sword skills at this point?
I don't know. And by the way, I forgot an anecdote I was supposed to tell you about Miranda Frost / Rosamund Pike. She was recently interviewed, and I read about the love scene with Pierce Brosnan.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you might imagine, when you do a scene like that, you're not actually naked generally. Like they try to, but they take skin colored things.
Yes.
And they paste them on you. So they pasted onto her chest these skin colored things. And she noticed as she's doing these shots over and over again, the scene, she notices that because they've used this glue to put them on, she is pulling chest hair off of Pierce Brosnan as she's doing it. And she's 23 years old.
Yeah.
And he's this established actor. And she's like super embarrassed and worried that like she's hurting him and everything. But when I read that before I saw the movie again, and I noticed how hairy his chest is. Like I can see this happening, but apparently she was very embarrassed that her chest covering was pulling all this chest hair off.
We're not talking Robin Williams level where it looks like he's wearing a sweater, but still,
it's close.
He's a hairy guy.
I mean, he's got stomach hair, right? Not even just chest hair. He is a hairy dude.
Yeah. Like Animal. There's a Austin Powers reference. Bond and Graves continue to fight in the command center as Frost directs Jinx to put the plane on autopilot.
Why didn't anyone think of that before?
Frost says, well, drowning you didn't seem to work. I'll have to try something more to the point.
Dun, dun, dun.
Stuff continues to explode on the surface while everybody fights on the plane.
What I wrote was girl fight.
Nice. The CGI plane heads into the Icarus line, knocking everyone over. Jinx and Frost...
But somehow not crashing the plane or destroying it.
Jinx and Frost duel as the plane starts to disintegrate, but takes a very long time to disintegrate.
It's on fire, seemingly, but it's still flying fine.
Jinx then brings some knives to a sword fight, and we get yet another stupid camera effect where Frost scores a hit on Jinx in slow motion. Technically, she won by getting blood on the torso, so shouldn't it have just been over at that point?
Right? They basically reenact that.
Bond and Graves continue their fight. Graves activates his electricity. Frost, I can read your every move. Jinx, read this, bitch. Ugh.
Nice. Good one. I don't know how they came up with that.
As Jinx stabs Frost in the heart with a knife that was stuck through a book. What was the book? I can't remember.
Didn't look. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Graves knocks down Bond, throws the extra parachute out the window. Once again, the villain takes too much time to gloat instead of just leaving, so Bond activates his chute, sending Graves out the window and eventually into the engine, destroying Graves, the power glove.
Oh, you think he died this time?
I think so.
Yeah.
And the power glove, and disabling the Icarus.
Super set. That does, right, it does seem to disable the Icarus. Now, I'm not sure why the Icarus wouldn't just stay on whatever setting it was on, but that's fine. At this point...
Like the power... Well, remember, the power glove had to be plugged into the NES. So if you cut it off, then it's no longer plugged in, so it doesn't work.
Okay. That's a long cord on this one.
Bond finds Miranda dead. Jinx, I think I broke her heart. Ugh.
Boo.
Bond and Jinx prepare for a Living Daylights type escape, slowly leaving via helicopter while CGI cars fall out.
Yes, because they activate like the conveyor belt that takes everything out of the plane, and till the helicopter can get out.
As the CGI helicopter plummets to the ground,
Yeah.
Bond is finally able to get the engine started
Oh, it's
feet from the
amazing.
ground.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Quip. Now you said something about going down together.
Boo.
We go back to MI6, where for some reason Bond's back. He visits Moneypenny, proceeds to slap and tickle with her. Oh, sorry. That's just virtual reality. Q walks in. Moneypenny says she was just testing it out.
Yeah.
Q says, "It's rather hard, isn't it?" Moneypenny, "Yes, very."
Dun, dun, dun. If
We
you
now
say
go to a
so.
small hut in Korea. Bond and Jinx slap and tickle. Just kidding. They're playing with the diamonds. Jinx says, "I'm so good." And then Bond says, "Especially when you're bad." That's it. Let's die another day.
Yeah, it is.
No boat.
No, definitely not a boat.
Got a few trivialities. This is the first Bond film to feature Bond's bullet racing towards the camera in the gun barrel opening. This is the first time there's an actual bullet coming towards it.
I really didn't like the gun barrel opening, frankly. The music was weird.
Okay.
They should just stick with the regular music they've always had. Like, there's no reason to update that.
Yeah.
Even the bullet thing, you didn't need to do it. Like, just do the classic.
Producers did want Michelle Yeoh to reprise her role, but she was not available, unfortunately. Icarus was originally called Solaris, but the name was changed because of the George Clooney movie that was currently in production. Side note, I've seen that movie, I've seen the original movie, and I've read the book of Solaris. It's interesting.
Is it any good? Any of it?
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
What's it about?
I don't remember. I liked it.
That good, huh?
It's been a while.
But it
No,
wasn't
it's
about
a guy that goes
satellite
to
in
a space station to investigate why some people are dying on it.
Oh,
And it turns into this like psychological kind of thing.
okay.
I just want to clarify because we do a little car talk on here. So the car Moon's cars, like I said, Ford GT40, Porsche 911 993 era. So this was the last air-cooled 911.
Oh my gosh, would I like to have that car?
Ferrari F355 GTS, and a 1992 Lamborghini Diablo.
Isn't the Ferrari the one that? Oh no, there's a Ferrari from the plane that ends up in
Yes,
like
the one that's like
rice field or
90-degree
like
angle
that.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Lamborghini Diablo. I mean, those are good looking cars.
Some of the old cars in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 1958 Chevy Bel Air, 1941 Special Deluxe, 1938 Chrysler Royal 6, and a 1952 Mercury Custom.
I mean, I'm guessing it was whatever cars were in Spain that they could get
whatever you could find
there,
from
right?
before whatever 1959.
There probably weren't that many.
Little quote about the car, the Aston Martin Vanquish. The original Vanquish was powered by a 5.9 liter, 460 horsepower V12 that made a noise like Tom Jones stubbing his big toe when you gave it the full beans. That was a quote from like one of the crew people.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Oh, a V12 is one of the best sounds of any engine in the world. Oh my gosh.
Book comparisons. Obviously no book, but this movie takes heavily from many previous Bond movies and books. Now the next movie is heavily from a book.
Yes, like almost exactly.
All right, final thoughts and rating. I'm going to let you go first this time.
Oh, sure. It says on the paper that you go first.
It does.
Things I liked, I mean, the first, say, quarter to third of the movie was decent. I'm still like, I don't know what Bond's plan was. I was very distracted by the fact that I couldn't understand what his actual end game was in Korea with the diamonds and why he took such a lame bomb that didn't kill anyone. There's not much I like. The cars were awesome.
They were awesome.
All the cars were good. Things I didn't like, I mean, the effects were dreadful. They were dreadful. And the writing, especially in the last half of the movie, was just not good. It just was not well done. The lines were just not good. I mean, Halle Berry was good.
Yeah.
herself,
Yeah.
but some of those lines they made her deliver, she delivered them okay, but they were not good lines. So there you have it.
What's your rating?
My gosh. I mean, I have to make it last. I don't know what. Yeah, because what was last? Moonraker?
So, Diamonds Are Forever is
Oh,
last for
Diamonds
you
Forever.
at 3 stars.
Oh, I mean, this is definitely worse than Diamonds Are Forever.
Okay.
I guess I'm going to give it 2 stars.
All right.
I'm not sure thought I would give any Bond
Wow.
movie 2 stars, but it's
Automatically
so
puts it at 20.
distracting. It's so distracting.
Here's what I liked.
Yeah.
Like you, I felt like the stuff in Korea, Hong Kong, and then most of Cuba
Yeah, it was normal Bond
was a
stuff.
very good Bond movie.
Yeah, it was normal Bond stuff.
And then it just went completely off the rails.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had that really bad CGI. You had all these really bad one-liners for Jinx.
And I really don't like the villain once he becomes Gustav Graves.
Yeah.
He's too
Over the top.
smug.
Oh, smug.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's just I don't sleep and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really like him.
I am also saying 2 stars.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I am going to put it over Diamonds Are Forever.
No.
The only reason I'm putting it over Diamonds Are Forever is because Pierce Brosnan is not mailing it in like Sean Connery was.
Okay.
Sean Connery was basically just like, give me $3 million and I'll do this movie.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing. The CGI was so bad. The scene with the wave,
Oh my gosh.
awful.
But
Absolutely awful.
It starts off bad. The surfing into North Korea is so dumb. See, like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
do you
but-
even do it?
But at least it was real.
Yes, I agree, but it was also dumb.
Yeah.
But there's there's a lot of questionable choices.
I agree. I mean, it's bad. It's Pierce Brosnan could not have ended his run any worse than this. And the same Holly
And his
Berry with all those.
acting is fine.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing,
like I
right?
said.
The people who all the actors in the movies were pretty good. Although
Yeah.
I don't love Graves, but I think he acted the way they probably told him to and the way they wrote it. But the acting was all fine. Nobody's acting was bad enough to be distractingly bad acting.
It's probably directing. It's the
Yes,
worst
I
directing of
think it
any
is.
Bond movie.
It has to
Yeah.
be the worst.
That
directing.
slow motion stuff is
It's so dumb. The
appalling.
minute they do it the first time, I'm like, oh no.
yeah.
This is not good. And maybe at the time, I mean, I don't know. Maybe at the time it was okay, but
Yeah.
the CGI in Iceland is unforgivably bad.
Yeah. So now we got an interesting one. Now we got the theme song, Die Another Day. And like I said,
Yeah.
this song grew on me.
Yeah.
I think it works well with the movie. I think it works really well with the credits.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to put it at number 9, right below The Man with the Golden Gun.
Number 9.
Number 9.
All right, let me see.
Shout out to somebody that will never listen to this podcast, a VHS Village friend by the name of Kirby. Huge fan of the song Revolution 9 by the Beatles.
really?
Yeah.
But he has too good a taste to listen to this
Yes.
podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let me see where. Okay, let me look at my list.
It's very electronic and it's very of its time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it did grow on me as a Bond theme song.
I'm putting it at 12. I also liked it. I mean, I think it was.
Honestly,
It was
for
good
you,
for
that's
the
a
movie.
ringing endorsement.
It
to
was
put it
good
at 12.
for the movie. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the opening credits, and it matched well with the opening credits.
Yes.
It's not as good a song. Like I said, like if we were rating the songs without watching the movie, I think it would fall.
Oh, yeah. This is not a radio song.
But it is a good opening credit song for what the opening credits were. It'd be interesting to know which of those they had planned out first, right? I mean, if they knew
Yeah.
what the opening credits were going to be like, or maybe they showed her the opening credits and said, you know, we need you to put something over this, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's
If
it.
only someone could research these things and then tell other people
Yeah.
what the story was.
Our slap and tickle count is now 47.
Okay.
We stay at 10 for the bond on a boat count.
Yeah.
Next episode, Charlie.
There were no boats on this.
There were no boats.
The closest was surfboards.
Yeah.
And the stupid top of the cabin
Yeah.
that he windsurfs or parasails on or whatever.
Our next episode is a little movie called Casino Royale.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that one.
I cannot wait for this one. And it'll be around Christmas time. What a Christmas gift to discuss Casino Royale.
And what a Christmas gift for our wives to take an afternoon to talk about the movie.
Yeah.
And watch it a couple times before we get there. But it's a good movie, as I recall. And it's so much like the book. It is. They must have decided, we're going to go back to basics. We're going to read Casino Royale, and we're going to make a movie that's just like it.
We're really not being secretive about how we were going to feel about this next one.
No, I think a lot of people like this movie.
But after
I
this,
don't
after
think
this
anyone will
movie,
be surprised.
Was there anything more refreshing than Casino Royale after this one? I mean,
Yeah.
That's enough. We'll stop talking about it now.
Yeah.
We'll do our viewings and everything. So that'll do it. Thank you, Charlie.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bottled in Bond. If you'd like to send us a message, you can do so at bottledinbondpod@gmail.com. Till your next briefing, pour yourself a drink, light a smoke, and find yourself a spirited companion. Goodbye.